All right, hey guys, so today we are going to talk about finding reliable sources for your research. You should have finished your first draft. I did not, so I would actually have to finish this if I were going to actually research today, but you want to make sure you have all that done because 95% of your writing needs to be yours. Okay, so let's just say I finished the rest of mine and I need to start researching. So you see how I left some blanks here? This is the kinds of answers and information that I'm going to look for. Here I said hissing is when cats open their mouth wide, bare their teeth, and I didn't really know how to describe hissing, so I was going to see if I could find some kind of description about that. And the other thing I wanted to find was right here, other angry behavior that cats display, because I couldn't really think of anything other than full swishy tail and hissing and growling. So that's what I'm going to be researching. So step one, look at your blanks, try to see what you're going to research. Okay. Now, the question becomes, how do you make sure that the site you are looking at is a reliable source? In other words, how can I make sure that the website or person that you are getting your information from is a person that actually knows what they're talking about and they're telling you the truth? So, for instance, my 8-year-old cousin, not a reliable source about cats. She will tell me lots of things about cats. She could tell me that they poop rainbows, but not totally reliable person to tell me things about cats. However, my veterinarian, very reliable source. She went to school for a lot of years. It's in her best interest to tell me the truth. So I'm going to believe what my vet says, maybe not totally what my 8-year-old cousin says. Okay? So the question becomes, how do you know if your website is reliable, the one that you're looking at? So we have a little bit of a checklist here, and it's kind of an art figuring out if a website is reliable because you basically have to do some lie detection. People will try to tell you that they are telling you the truth, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they are. So these are 5 different ways that I use to figure out if a website is reliable. First of all, I check to see if it's recently updated, and we'll look at some websites to look at that. So was it published in the last, I don't know, about 5 years? 5 years is a pretty good bet. Is it well organized? And does it have good punctuation and spelling? Sometimes you open websites, there's so many ads, there's so much going on, it's a big blob, their punctuation is all over the place, they have misspelled words everywhere. That's going to tell me that maybe if they don't know how to write perfectly, they may not know what they're talking about either. If it's an adult publishing this, they should be spending the time to make everything look professional. Also, you want to make sure that they're not selling something and they're not politically affiliated. Politically affiliated just means that they have an opinion about politics. Even though most people do have an opinion about politics and things going on in the world, you want to make sure that their purpose is not to convince you about their opinion. You want information, not an argument. Well-known, you want to make sure it's a well-known organization and it's an authority on something. This could be for sports. ESPN is an authority about sports. Or if you're thinking about animals, National Geographic is a good and reliable source. They're an authority on animals because they do lots of research and they have a lot of experts in that field. And then finally, that the author has expertise. So again, kind of goes along with well-known organization. Even if you don't recognize the author, if you click their bio, because usually they'll have a little thing you can click, and you can see that they know what they're talking about. They've been, for instance, in my case, a veterinarian for multiple years, then I'm probably going to trust them. So I want to get 4 out of 5. I may not get all 5, but I want to get at least 4 out of 5. So for this next slide, I'm going to show you in real life, like real life headlines that some people in my family have actually posted onto Facebook, given this is someone who is a little bit older and doesn't know how to figure out if something's reliable, but I want you to figure out if this is a reliable source. Here's the first one. The headline says, "Ha! Snoop Dogg gets bad news after calling for Trump assassination. So you got Snoop Dogg right there. He was looking all sad. Looks pretty convincing here. But let's take this apart a little bit. What do you think about this headline? Do you think this is going to be a reliable source, and why? So turns out it did fail our test. It is, you can tell it's political. Oh, it's really annoying that it keeps doing that. You can tell it's politically affiliated. The fact that they're laughing that Snoop Dogg gets bad news tells me that they have an opinion. So that is not good. We can't really trust that. Bad punctuation. So the official information doesn't use all caps. You see how this all caps is right here? That's not very professional. So that's another tick against it. And then finally, it's such a classic clickbait title that it repeats itself in another one of its own articles. Take a look at this. Snoop Dogg gets bad news after calling for Trump assassination. Jimmy Kimmel gets bad news after blasting Trump at Oscars. It's almost the same exact thing. I am not really going to trust these because they don't seem professional. They have bad punctuation, and it seems like they are politically affiliated. Doesn't matter if it's one way or the other. If I'm looking for information, I don't even want to find an article that matches my own political beliefs. I want to find something that's totally neutral. Okay. So now I'm going to start looking for some information for my actual stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to Google and search cat behavior. First thing that pops up. Boom, look at this. This looks pretty good. Cat behavior includes body language, blah, 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 blah. This looks awesome. Do you think I should use this box right here? No, you should not. The reason being, this actually comes from, just some random site. Google searches cat behavior. It saw that in this website in Wikipedia, it talks about cat behavior, and it literally copies and pastes it right here. Google does not use this list to check to make sure that this is reliable. So you can't trust this. Not only that, but this is from Wikipedia. Let's take a look at Wikipedia. Wikipedia we cannot trust because anybody can go in here and start suggesting different improvements. So you don't want to trust Wikipedia because it's not necessarily true information. A lot of it is, but not all of it is. And you don't necessarily know which part of it is true and which isn't. So we are going to avoid Wikipedia for this assignment. No Wikipedia. Okay, going to the next one. This is another Wikipedia article. You can see right here, it says right there. So I'm not going to click that. How about this one? 25 random cat behaviors finally explained. That looks interesting. So this one, it's updated recently, so that's good. Okay, Joe Biden, get out of here. There is this, there's quite a bit of like ads. There's an ad popping up. There's an ad over here. That's kind of disorganized. That's one thing against it. And then let's see who this author is, because I want to make sure that the author has expertise in cat behavior. So I'm going to click that. Just click on Jana here. It's loading. It's taking a while. That's another sign that it's bad. Jana Randall is a busy mother, loving wife, and active career woman. She likes pets. She's not an expert in it. I don't see why she would know more about cats than me. So I am not going to trust this source. Next. Common cat behavior issues, ASPCA. ASPCA is a well-known organization, that's awesome, about animals. So that's one really good thing going for it. Let's click on this aggression between cats, because that might look interesting. So this looks very organized. I don't see any advertisements. There's lots of subheadings. That's looking good. Their punctuation and spelling is right on point. Looks great. There is this copyright 2017. That's pretty recent. So let's see. We've got well-known organization. There's no author, but that's because that the author is this organization, which is an expert. So I'm going to trust that. So 1, 2. It is not selling anything. They're asking for donations, but they're not selling anything on this article, so that's good. It's well organized, recently updated, 5 out of 5. Boom. This is something that I am going to trust. So you want to find something similar to this that gets at least 4, if not 5 of these points. And that is something reliable that you can use for your information. Okay?